1,000 Paper Cranes by Takayuki Ishii. Very interesting. In Japan, the crane is a traditional sign of long life and good fortune. According to the folklore, if one crane represented 1,000 years of happiness, then 1,000 cranes would mean 1,000,000 years of happiness. So that's the book all about. And I read from the cover. 1,000 Paper Cranes is a story of Sadako. 10 years after the atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, Sadako Sasaki died as a result of the atomic bomb disease. Sadako's determination to fold 1,000 paper cranes, symbolizing her hope for peace and her courageous struggle with her illness, inspired her classmates. After her death, they started a national campaign to build the Children's Peace statue in memory of Sadako and the many other children who were victims of the bombing of Hiroshima. On top of the statue is a girl holding a large crane in her outstretched arms. She is Sadako Sasaki. To this day in Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park, the statue of Sadako is beautifully decorated with thousands of paper cranes brought and sent by people around the world. That's the ISBN number. So this is the statue in the Peace Memorial Park in Hiroshima. So this is the memorial of the little girl in the Peace Memorial Park in Hiroshima. It's known as Genbaku no Kono Zo. So on the very top you can see the statue, the figure of a girl holding a large crane as she looks skyward. So engraved in the dark granite at the foot of the statue is, so this is a Children's Peace statue, and there is this, these are the words. This is our cry, this is our prayer to create peace in the world. And these are the words, the prayers and the cries of the victims of the atomic bomb, past and present. They must be heard and remembered by all the people of the world, it says. The writer, Takayuki Ishii, writes, in discussing the horrors of the atomic bombs that were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, people frequently say, let's not forget Pearl Harbor. They are right. We must remember Pearl Harbor, but we must also remember Hiroshima, Nagasaki, the Holocaust, all the horrors of the World War II, the Korean War, the My Lai massacre in Vietnam, and all the other atrocities of war throughout history. The real issue, as I see, is not who or which country committed what crime, but why? Every war invariably results in terrible tragedies, immense waste, and sinful destruction. All wars, no matter how big or small, how nearby or far away, diminish our humanity to a barbaric level, he writes. So reading again from here, Sadako's story began to show great interest. Whoever heard about this story began to show great interest in the memorial statue project. Many of the principals who had read the flyers informed their students about Sadako's tragedy and passed the flyers around so their students would get involved. That's how this memorial was made. Coincidentally, the year Sadako died was also the year the Atomic Bomb Museum in Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park opened to the public. As visitors to the museum, many of the school principals were vividly reminded of the devastation caused by the atomic bomb. They responded immediately and emotionally to the pain and suffering the bomb had caused when they saw displays depicting such horrors as a black rain that covered Hiroshima after the bombing, men, women, and children who had lost their hair to radiation from the bomb, and beams twisted from the blast, young soldiers with bleeding gums and bodies darkened with purple patches, and the charred remains of homes no longer standing. The new museum and Sadako's story left a profound impact on the school principals to motivate their students They made strong appeals to them to get involved in building the memorial statue. They promoted the virtues of peace, and above all, they used their voices to ask the world never again to use the atomic bomb. I hope it's time that I hope people are listening to this, or it's time you read this book to understand the poignant story written here to remind us that the horrors of a nuclear holocaust.